What's up, YouTube? This is LA Prepper for the fourth time today. I think that I've been messing around with this live stream software. I know I'm coming in very dark right now, but I don't have a nicer webcam and I don't have a lot of light on me. So, every time I bump the table, it bumps the camera. That's awesome. I never even thought about that as a potential issue, but yeah, that's super annoying. So I wanted to just kind of try this out, try the screen sharing thing, which is obviously super annoying with um, just the one computer. So, for example, I can share the screen, but um, I can't look at what I'm showing you aside from the fact that I have to kind of hope that what I have, what I'm showing you is what I'm looking at the time. What's up, creative? You are I haven't watched your videos a lot recently, but you're always like working on these super intense projects. Um, and just for the fun of it, let's try to do a little live navigation. Creative. Ooh, man, this is not. Yeah, they were right when they said it works better with a fast computer. Oh my gosh. Let's try this again. Creative redundance. Oh, you're not even coming up in those ones. There we go. Let's try this. All right, so let's go to big screen. We'll give creative redundancy a quick shout out. By the way, is my sound coming in okay, creative, if you don't mind? 1.6 thousand subscribers. Awesome. What have we been working on recently? I can see you. I don't know if this is new, this graphic up here. Doing some planting stuff. I can see you're on the thumbnail team. Reusing a broom was I'm curious to know how to reuse a broom. So quite busy as I like to see. So that's good. You're doing all sorts of things as usual. I need to do some planting, some gardening, so I might need to watch a few of these. Oh, what's up, Brian? Thank you for stopping by. I can't promise that I'll be sharing anything that monumental, but I'm working on it. There's so many things I want to do in life and with the channel, and live streaming on a more regular schedule with more regular topics is something that's been on my to-do list for a while. I think it'd be fun to have like different subjects on different days. Like for example, like Monday could be like Make Money Monday. I'm kind of a fan of alliteration and other literary devices. I was actually messing around in the stock market, and I say messing around because I can only have a couple $100. Let me backtrack. I am doing an employee stock purchase with my company, so that's several $1,000s by now, but that's kind of private, so it's not like in the market, so to speak. It's kind of in the private market. But in the public market, investing in stocks and messing around with day trading and such has been on my bucket list for a really long time. And forgive me, let me grab some water here that I had. Let me see if I can. I swear, getting some wireless headphones is up on my to-do list because I've only tripped over this stupid headphone cord, I don't know, 100 times since I bought them. So yeah, there's a lot of things on my bucket list, but trading stocks, day trading stocks, at least getting more familiar with it, getting some platforms going on. I mean, you see Tesla do crazy stuff like go from 1,000 to 1,900, and you just think like, wow, would have been nice to get a piece of that. Or things that like DocuSign. DocuSign is a program or a company that I'm familiar with because I used to work in real estate, and it's a way of digitally signing documents, and it's really, really slick software. It's super easy to use. Yes, good job, creative. DocuSign is really easy to use, but where I'm going with this, in fact, I think we could even do something slightly fun like this. Finance docu. Up another 2%. Yeah, not surprising. So year to date, back when this thing started, and let's just make sure we're full. Yeah, so year to date, oh, and I gotta watch that too. Google loves to kind of rat on you, so it's like I gotta be careful about using like internet stuff when I'm doing the live streaming. So back in March, man, $68. Shit, I would have bought them for that. So they do this digital document signing. And of course, with the whole COVID thing, you can imagine their stock price has been trending upwards. So if you had the force, now granted, you never really know. Like in March when it was $68, who knows if it would have gone down, even more or whatnot. I mean, it's always hard to predict the stock market, but you can predict kind of the utility of something. And if this software helps people sign documents without meeting face to face, and we're heading towards or back then there were concerns about increased quarantine and such. I mean, you might think that something that allows people to do business without meeting, like Zoom, for example, would go up. And we've seen that from $68 March 12th, they are currently at $221. So that's over tripling your money. If you put your life savings into DocuSign in March, come now, you could have sold it all and tripled your money. Now, of course, it's easy to look back and say that, but this is the kind of stuff that makes me want to be a little bit more in tune with what's going on the market. Because what's up, Glock and Roll? That's an awesome name, by the way. Sadly, you won't find a lot of firearm related stuff on my channel as of late, but who knows, maybe that will change at some point. So anyways, investing doesn't really have anything to do with prepping per se, but in the same sense that you want to diversify your preps, you want to diversify your investments too, and since prepping does cost money and buying land and generators and boats and inner tubes and flashlights and solar panels and whatever else that you think you need for the apocalypse, it all costs money. You're not going to barter for all of it. Oh, I'm sure she did. I mean, Apple is just the thing that's so crazy to me is like their products are good. I mean, Apple computers are good, Apple iPhones are good. It's kind of crazy because like you can get a comparable cell phone that'll do damn near everything that an Apple iPhone will do for half the price. People still want the iPhone. Anyone who wears fashion clothes, like designer clothes, something you buy brand new at Macy's, they all want iPhones. They all want new cars and stuff like that. For people like me that buy their clothes at Goodwill and thrift store and feel like they're going to go broke every time they have to go to Walmart and spend $20 on a pair of shorts, um, you know, well, of course not creative. And let me scroll back through the comments a little bit. Chainsaws. Yeah, in fact, I hate to be such an opportunist, but I really think a lot about, these natural disasters and how you could go make a buck in a respectable way off these natural disasters. Like, what if you just took off from your job? I don't know, let's say you had vacation or something, or you weren't working, you're retired, or who knows what. Let's just say you took off and spent a month down in Louisiana and Texas, bought a used pickup truck for 500 bucks, bought a couple chains, maybe a medium-sized pickup truck for 500 bucks, 1,000 bucks. Get a couple chainsaws and just go clear people's yards of trees and messed up trees. And then if you really wanted to do it right, you'd find a guy that sold firewood or a gal that sold firewood, and you'd cut down the people's trees. You'd give all the big stuff to the firewood guy, and you give the small stuff to, I don't know, the green waste guy or something. But I feel like there's a lot of opportunity there. People that clear yards and get rid of debris must be just doing buku work in Texas right now. And not to say like you'd go down to try to take advantage of people, but the point is the demand for people clearing their yards, having their yards cleared, is probably going through the roof right now, and the supply is very limited. So you could charge a fair price and be busy all day. Um, yeah, I used to get into Glock and Roll. I used to get into flipping small machinery a little bit more. The thing is, when it's not running, it's kind of a pain in the butt. If it's running rough, like if you can get something that's running a little bit rough and clean it up to get it running better, and you get it for an amazing price, you can sell it for a good price, you'll do okay. But most of the time, things that don't run, like a lawnmower, take a lawnmower for example, or a chainsaw, like you said, chainsaw. Let's do some quick. We'll see if we can start off or maintain this Make Money Monday. Um, so let's go to Craigslist. And let's see if we can go to chainsaw. I guess chainsaw is a tool, although it might be farm and garden. You never know with some of this stuff. All right, so we have 35 chainsaws for sale. Make sure we're on maximum here. So let's see if there's any chainsaw flipping arbitrage opportunities here. Brand new cordless chainsaw. Nope, wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Which is ironic because sometimes you use poles with chainsaws. Steel or still 18-inch. Let's see. Oh, okay, this guy's like at a pawn shop or something. Yeah, this thing probably doesn't run. He wants $295 for it, which is a little bit much, I think. Because he's running some kind of used goods store. I mean, Christ, if the guy tightened the chain on the chainsaw, it'd probably be worth more money. But people don't always know how to market their stuff. Salem Master Chainsaw. Never heard of it. Well, at least the guy went and copy and pasted something from the. Who even makes this thing? Salem Master Chainsaw. Amazon. In other words, made in China. Huh. Fascinating. Well, anyways, there's your made in China chainsaw option. Let's see what else we got. Remington electric, 16-inch corded, Husqvarna chainsaw with case, $350. You can see the chainsaw prices are not, they definitely hold their value. More so probably than an iPhone. Take a brand new iPhone that's $1,000, and if in maybe a year you might be able to get 500 for it. In a couple years you might get, I don't know, 300 for it. But like 3, 4, 5 years after that iPhone comes out, they're basically worthless. So it's interesting. Now here's one that's a little more affordably priced, $65. Interesting. McCulloch 315 chainsaw, 3516 chainsaw. Selling my chainsaw. It's been sitting for the garage. It needs a tune-up. Thank you. Oh, this guy actually doesn't live super far away from me. Interesting. $65. I have absolutely no need for a chainsaw, but that's really interesting. I would say 35cc McCulloch Mac 3516. Let's see if I can do a comp on this chainsaw. McCulloch 3516 chainsaw. Oh, that was kind of weird. So a refurbished one is going for $150. Okay. Interesting. It's only getting 3 out of 5 stars. Wow, how many? This is a 16-inch? 16-inch. Brand new, they go for $122. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, so I know this might not be interesting to everyone, but you can do what I'm doing with chainsaws here is with pretty much anything that's used on Craigslist, right? So take a look at what they want for it used. Take a look at what it costs brand new. I generally judge something about 40. I mean, let's say, roughly speaking, an item that's used in good working condition, you might get 40 to 50% of the brand new value if it's not super old. So let's say 50% is a rough starting point. So if brand new, I can get this thing for 120 bucks or 122. That means used in basically perfect condition, that's $61. So we can see here that this guy has a used chainsaw that doesn't run and needs a tune-up, quote unquote, like everything on Craigslist. And he's already above, um, he's already above what the used value is, in my opinion. So the question is, how much room for arbitrage is there on this chainsaw? Because even when it's good in working condition, it's only worth about 65, 70 bucks. I mean, maybe I could get 80 for it if the thing runs and I have a video. But the thing is, if I want to get 80 for it, then I have to ask like 100 for it. And when people see that I'm asking 100 and it's $120 brand new, there's just not a lot of room there. People are going to want to offer me 60 and 65 and 70. So it's like, I kind of got to get it for like 30 or 40. I can't put more than a couple hours into it because, like, you have to compare the opportunity cost, right? So I could have worked this Saturday. I chose not to because I was doing stuff on the house. But the thing is, like, if I put if I bought it for like say $40 and I put $10, I don't know, a new spark plug and a couple parts into it, maybe, some new oil and new gasoline plus new two-stroke oil. So it's gonna cost me like $20 just to kind of get the thing running. So if I get it for 40, put 20 into it, and maybe I'll have some of that two-stroke oil and a little bit of regular oil, the gear oil left over. You're just talking like pennies. There's not a lot of room there. Um, I mean, you could do it if you were really hard up, like maybe, go offer the guy $30, and if he takes 40, and if you had the I mean, if you were fixing engines all the time and you had two cycle oil and you had gear oil and, it's, I mean, shit, for $40, if I could get this chainsaw that works for $40, I'd practically just keep it, because a chainsaw is a wonderful thing to have when shit hits the fan, because some big crazy tree comes down. In fact, I think I'm going to offer this dude $30 for this chainsaw, so that he'll come back with 40. Oh, posted a month ago. Oh yeah, this guy's desperate. Let me just make sure I'm still on that screen. So let's see here. Go like that. Forgive me while I shoot this guy an email real quick, because if I was using my LA Prepper email, I could log into it on screen, but I am not currently. But yeah, I used to do this stuff more regularly. I bought, I'd try to buy lawnmowers and mulchers and all this kind of stuff. Let me just finish writing this email. I try. Could pick up at your convenience. And actually, I would have some utility for a chainsaw, because I'm trying this sort of firewood experiment where I kind of uh, collect wood and stuff from the neighbors. And I actually don't have anything as useful as a chainsaw. I have a sawzall, but the thing is, let's say I see some big 15-foot branch on the side of the road. Well, if there's not power, then it's not very likely that I'm going to, drag this thing on top of my car. But if I had a chainsaw, then I could actually chop it up. And I always kind of wanted to get into like tree trimming stuff, because tree trimming is like the easiest job in the world when the tree isn't huge. You go up, you look at the tree. Oh, creative. Yes, you're hilarious. But you go up, you look at the tree, you cut a few things, you take all the crap out, you charge money, and then you're done. Well, considering I want to do firewood for myself, I want to do compost. Um, I even thought about, like, how viable is it for me to sell firewood? With this whole, I mean, most people that sell firewood are kind of have a serious business, and they get big logs and they cut them and they split them and they deliver. I actually used to live at a property where the owner did firewood. Um, Thanks, creative. Yeah, I actually was just working on my compost today. But let me get back to the firewood before I forget, because my brain already works, in circles. So yeah, I used to live at this place where the dude did firewood. He didn't pay for any of the wood that he got. He got it all from local tree trimmers. So I don't know, like, if they would put it in the trailer or he would load it up in the trailer, but somehow he got this free wood, big trunks of trees and stuff. and then he had somebody split it, and whoever was splitting it would just have to spend 8 hours a day splitting wood and chucking it in the back of the trailer. It's kind of a shitty job, obviously, but yeah, I wouldn't look to get into it that crazy, but I just wonder if I could sell firewood to my neighbors, at a pretty affordable price, or my coworkers or something. I could just put like, in fact, I never even thought about how to like grow businesses through my classified listing at work. Um, but I really could. I could deliver firewood and kindling and stuff for people that go on camping trips or they have a little stove. And if I get the stuff for free and it doesn't cost me that much time and energy to process it, um, it's decent money. It's not bad money wise. Or even trading, bartering. Like I live around a lot of Hispanic populations, so trust me, I would trade some firewood for some tamales in a New York minute. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I could get to know some arborists creative, but the thing is, like, I just don't have the ability right now to kind of deal with that much volume. So if someone said I just chopped down a 20-inch tree, it's 30 foot tall, I don't have a trailer to deal with that. I'm not really in the line of work of processing firewood at the moment. Um, but it's just interesting, on Make Money Monday to talk about, you know, people are always like, well, I don't have a job, or I'm too busy with school, or I don't know how to make money. I mean, look, buy a chainsaw for $40, put $10 into it, cut some of your neighbor's tree, take a few pictures, see if you can cut some of your other neighbors' trees. And sometimes making money isn't so much about having everything work right, it's just about starting, right? So you might say, well, I don't have a trailer to remove all this tree stuff. Well, it's like, well, do you have a tow hitch? Okay. So rent a trailer your first few jobs. And yeah, it sucks to go have to rent the trailer, but hey, at least you got the trailer, right? So you rent the trailer for your first few jobs. Then you finally have enough money where you can buy a trailer. And then you buy a trailer, and then you get some business cards made up, and it just kind of like snowballs from there. Sometimes I think I would be happy just running a tree cutting business. Like I like my job, and it's a very challenging job, but there's something nice about doing simple work outdoors, setting your own schedule. If it's too hot on one weekend, just cancel the job. Client never calls you back, fine. You know, I'm not cutting down your tree at 100-degree weather. So paid not to work, nice. Yeah, well, that'll be me someday, Glock and roll. Until then, I got to take care of the finance stuff until I feel confident that I can retire. I Even when I retire, I'll probably have, I don't know, businesses or real estate or something. I don't know if I'll ever quit, but I'd have to be in a much different financial position before I just want to outright quit. So anyways, let's see if we can finish looking through these chainsaws before I get too sidetracked. As uh 2 cycle 42cc 18-inch for 140 bucks. Wow, thing looks brand new. In fact, I think it is almost brand new. No, it's just in the box. It says new, 2-year warranty. Interesting. $800 for a steel 441. Man, that's a serious chainsaw. $750. Damn, remind me to find a broke down Stihl chainsaw. That's crazy. Poulon Pro. Yeah, I have one of those at a place where I volunteered. The thing would never stay running. Not inclined to touch this with a 10-foot stick. Now look, this guy wants $70 for his little chainsaw. $800. So you can see like vast difference between an off-brand chainsaw and an actual real chainsaw. So you see, we learned. Oh, here we go. Home Light, 46 cc's, gas powered, $0. Well, I'll give you $0 for it, buddy. Works great. Check out the photos. Ooh, I like it. Has a quick, it's got a quick chain tensioner system. That could either be great or terrible. This guy is not exactly near me. Don't know if he realizes he listed it for $0. It's hardly worth the drive for me. Even if the guy was giving it away for free, it's hardly worth the $20 to go get the damn thing. But you know what? I kind of want to offer him $10 just because he was. They're so dumb they didn't put the price in. That's funny. The 441. Yeah, but the dude wanted $800 for that thing. I mean, that's a lot of money. Who knows how hard of a life this thing had? You know how many times it's been dropped. It's weird. It says, I think it's a MS461 because this is definitely a 6. So I don't know if the 6 one is not as cool as the 4.4 one, but the dude. Oh, why? So he says MS661, then it says MS441. Unless they're two different chainsaws, but I don't think so. No. Yeah, I don't know which chainsaw that is, but serious buyers only. Yeah, that's what people say when they list their stuff for too much money. $1,000 for a chainsaw, barely used, been in storage, just needs a tune-up, you know? Serious buyers only. What's up, PDE? Or best offer? No, yeah, I mean, there's so much. In fact, how do I think I can do this thing where yeah, okay, so I can like highlight people's comments. I don't know if I can show them all, but I can like do this. Oh, cute doggo. It's supposed to increase user interaction or connectivity or some garbage like that. But I have to admit, I was on somebody's stream the other day. Maybe it's the Swedish guy, it's Swedish something. I can't remember his channel name. It's like Tactical Secret Swede or something. But he was doing this thing, and I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, you know, Rachel, a lot of people talk about, oh, you know, Craigslist is terrible and I don't use Craigslist and I only use OfferUp and I only use Letgo. Let me tell you, when I was selling my dirt bike, or the Dual Sport, the 1993 Boot Destroyer DR350S, I tried Letgo, I tried OfferUp, and I did get more contacts. More people messaged me, but they were lower quality. Now, for stuff like a couch, a bicycle, excuse me, for inconsequential goods like that, that there's not really a lot of options to sort, I think those websites are good. But the reason that I like Craigslist for motorcycles, I will show you, is that Craigslist does things that other websites don't do. Now, this is just motorcycles in particular. If you're selling a GameCube controller or a piece of art, you know, you don't need these features. But motorcycles specifically, the title thing, I really like the title status. Bundled duplicates is nice, has image, price, miles. You know, people don't really. I wish it was required to put in the model and the odometer and the engine displacement because it would really improve the quality of listings. But it doesn't really happen. Ooh, you know another M is motorcycles. Make money on Motorcycle Monday. Of course, that would be a difficult series because making money on motorcycles is not easy to do. I've only tried on and off to do it over 10 years, and I can say for a fact that I would not recommend flipping motorcycles as a general rule of thumb. Compost. Okay, I didn't get back to the compost. Let me. I would talk him down. Well, of course, right? Yeah, Facebook. I hate Facebook. I hate Mark Zuckerberg. I think he's a terrible human being, and I think Facebook and social media in general is a scourge of the earth. Now, you might find that surprising considering that I'm YouTube, but I think YouTube is a little bit more real and that you're sharing like realness with people. I mean, if I was on TikTok right now, I guess I'd make a 15-minute video and there'd be some crazy effects and then I'd be done. And that would be my contribution to the internet. Would be 15 seconds of me being an idiot, you know? So the compost pile, what are we doing with the compost? I have a very advanced compost system, okay? Are you ready? It's highly advanced. I take a bunch of crap, I put it all in my green waste bin, a bunch of plant clippings and such, and then I put a little bit of dirt in. I put a little bit of water in, maybe once or twice a week, and then I cover it and I leave it for a month. In fact, I wish I could show you. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to come up on my phone. I actually had some worms. In fact, I could smell the ammonia. I don't think it was just a cat piss. I think I could actually smell the decomposing. I could smell the decomposition in my compost pile. So I started that a couple months ago, and then about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, I took the bin that was full, dumped it all out on the back, and then just left it. And then I realized that all these branches that I wasn't really cutting up until they really, really decompose, they're still kind of like branches. So I need to cut my branches smaller or just bury them in the bottom of a pot. But I have a few challenges now. I pretty much already have way more dirt than I need. I have a couple pots to plant, but I don't really know what the layout of my backyard is going to be or my back patio. And I'll sort of explain it real quick with some very terrible drawing. Let's see here. It kind of goes like that, goes like that. Okay, so let me show you this. Oh, let's switch back to my face is super big. Yeah. All right. So currently, this is what my backyard looks like. So in case you're listening and you can't watch right now, I'll explain. Just take a big rectangle. On the back of that rectangle, there's two things. I know it looks like it says car, but it's actually GAR for garage. So on the back right is the garage that's converted so it does not open. And then on the back left, we have the garage patio area. This compost comment is too big right now. I don't even know how to take it off, to be honest. There we go. Okay, so and then there's a gate here that comes from the alley, or I should say easement between my house and the house next to me. So the sad truth of the whole matter is that the area that's shaded is kind of the only area that I can permanently mess with for now. Because if I rent this place to someone, there's no on-street parking, so I don't have to give them this area to park. I could park my car back there, and I'm kind of tempted to do that. The only problem is if my tenant is opening the front gate, then I have to hear that. So it's like I don't really want to deal with my tenant coming in and out of the front of the house. But long story short, I only have about half of my back patio area to kind of plant stuff. So I don't really want to put in anything permanent like a raised garden. So it's all going to be buckets for now, buckets and containers that I can move around on dollies. So I'm about at the point where I can start harvesting some dirt. The only problem is you really need dirt when you're going to do composting stuff because dirt, you kind of need dirt to, I don't know, it's kind of like yeast, right? Like you got to have a little bit of food. Like dirt to compost is sort of like sugar to yeast. You got to have a little food to get it going. So if you just take a whole bunch of leaves and pile it up, you might get there, but it's going to take you a while. But if you can go like 2/3 leaves and 1/3 dirt, then any worms and bacteria and microorganisms in the dirt will sort of start spreading into the leaves, and you tend to get better results. I'm not the inventor of it. It's just everything I've read says, look, you got to add some dirt to your compost to kind of help it go along, right? So, yeah, it kind of does its own thing. I people have aerated containers and perfect amounts of moisture, and they turn it every week and stuff like that. But the bottom line is, you just get a bunch of yard waste, cover it, keep it moist. It will basically turn into dirt in a matter of weeks. In fact, I was impressed how moist and dirty the dirt was in my compost pile in the back because I hadn't watered it in it pretty much since I emptied it. Maybe once I threw a bucket on it, but I pretty much hadn't watered it in like 3 weeks, and it's been pretty warm. Um, so the top was kind of dry, but then like a few inches down, it was still moist and decomposing and looking super good. So I just took out a bunch of material, put it in the bottom of the green compost bin again, and then poured a little bit of dirt on top. So I'm going to leave that for a few weeks. And then in a couple weeks, maybe I'll do a reveal and we'll see what kind of dirt comes out of that. It's getting a little bit late to plant stuff. In fact, I need to add on my to-do list of stuff to get at the store that I need some seeds. I just bought a car shade that's going to arrive tomorrow because it's going to be 100 degrees this weekend. It is going to suck. It's going to suck super, super, super sucky. I'll go back. Yeah, you're just going to have to take my word for it. But yeah, it's going to be way too hot. Increasing the surface area of the greens and browns speeds it up too. Yeah. I only have so much energy and desire to make this work. I mean, you should see like I used 2 old doors to prop up against the fence where I'm piling it just so that the fence doesn't rot. Um, okay, I need seeds. Oh shit, that's not my right list. Rehab supplies. God, there's so much stuff that I need. Need some 5/8 plywood for my subfloor. I need some concrete bags ×2. I need some cat. I think I'm just gonna go chicken wire on the. These stray cats in my neighborhood are just freaking out of control, and I think I'm gonna sign up with this Los Angeles. Oh, see ya, Glock and Roll. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, get that firewood going, buddy. Get it. Weird noises coming from my backyard. Yeah, chicken wire, stray cats. Got to keep the cats out. All right. Well, I've got to get going to work in just a little bit here. So let's do a quick look at the motorcycles. One of my favorite things to look at, in fact, so I can share with you what we're looking at. Let's go ahead and go full screen on this. So and right now we're looking 500 to 1500 clear title, bundle duplicates, and has image. My favorite search. So let's see if we can make money on some motorcycles on a Monday. TTR dirt bike, fun, but you got to take it out to the dirt. Let's see, what's up with this Yamaha Mini Enduro? $850. Huh. Was running 25 years ago. Oh my lord. It's like a Grom. It's almost like a little Grom before it was a Grom. Hasn't run in 25 years. Wow. Cool little bike. I wouldn't pay more than about $250, $300 for it. I'm sorry, just because it's old and it's complete doesn't mean it's worth 850 bucks. This guy is insane. Now what kills me is that somebody could clean this up, paint a couple things, and probably get $1,000 for it if it was running. If it was running strong. Now, is this kind of project for me? No, not if it hasn't been running in 25 years. What a freaking nightmare. Not with a 10-foot stick. Let's see, scooters thing. Pretty good price on this police cruiser, but I think the thing had a bajillion miles. Yeah, 70,000 miles. Awful tempting at the price, but BMW parts are expensive. They're nice motorcycles, but if this thing was a police cruiser or a CHP cruiser, they rode the snot out of it. These guys really ride their stuff super hard, catching all the baddies like they do. Aprilia 100, nope. Oh yeah, what was up with this guy's Ninja? I will say, this is like one of the funniest ads I've seen on Craigslist in a long time. Oh yeah, it's stuck in second gear. Yeah, some kind of weird transmission issues, which can turn out to be very expensive. Now, that being said, if the guy was willing to part with the bike for a fair price, um, if you take the engine off or take it all out and give it as a separate unit to a mechanic, it's slightly cheaper than having them like take it all off themselves. So if you get it, get it running right, get it out of second because one of the forks is probably bent or something. One of the shift forks, that is, not the regular forks. If you can get it running, then take the engine and transmission out, drop it off at your favorite motorcycle shop, and say, "Here's a few $100 to get it going." I mean, the bike's only worth about 1,000 altogether, so even if you get it for like 4, put 100 into it, another 300 of the transmission shop, you're just not making a lot of money. Magna, tempting. Some old 250s. How many bikes are on this list? 26. I really want this Honda, but I don't want it $1,200 worth. But I do want it. Cool old ATV. All right, well, thanks for stopping by, y'all. I got to get ready for work in a little bit here, but I appreciate you coming on to check out my live stream. I know the camera's a little whack. At least the audio is working. Kind of fun messing around with this share screen business. And the other cool thing that I can do is I can invite people to the screen, so we can have different people, 3 people, all sort of stuff that's going on. But until next time, stay safe, stay ready, keep your sewer pipes running better than I am, keep your compost turned more often than I do, keep your webcams in full operational order, and as always, keep prepping. We'll see you next time, YouTube.